Welcome, and thank you for joining me for this great fucking random gaming news where I'm having a bad hair day, so I figured we would do this in a voiceover versus the video. Just kidding, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with the camera. I'll get that working before Saturday's news show, and I promise you there will be one coming out this week. Also, today we're going to be talking about some of that Destiny 2 news that came out earlier this week because they did a live stream where they gave us the news for the next 3 years of DLC, and I thought it'd be interesting to go over that. But before we do, go ahead and check out those links in the description for all that sweet social media stuff. Hit the like button if you do enjoy today's video. Subscribe with that bell icon turned on so you get more content like this, and let's go ahead and start the show. So first I want to talk about just the state of the game and what they are actually bringing, or how they bring DLC to the game as far as what Bungie does. So usually for Destiny we get one big drop at the end of the year around September or in fall time, where we actually get a big DLC drop that is supposed to last us to the rest of the year. And then they disperse little seasons throughout the year that are about 3 or 4 months long that hold us over until the next big DLC drop. And they did this last year with Shadowkeep when they brought Destiny over to Steam on the PC and allowed us to transfer our characters back and forth between all the different consoles and everything. They, Shadowkeep was that, and then we had some other seasons that came out after that, like the Season of the Dawning and the most recent season, which was the Season of the Worthy. A lot of people were actually disappointed with that new season there, where they just didn't feel like it brought enough to the table from what Bungie was trying to do as a narrative aspect there for the game, because I feel like the story for the Season of the Worthy was actually really interesting. It brought me in, made me want to complete these little activities to get to the next cutscene to actually, finish out the story and see what's going on behind the scenes of this here. Because Destiny has one big problem, and the problem that I really see with the game is that they don't complete stories. They kind of leave them loose ends. They get it to the point where it's satisfied enough to that way they can have something to come back to if they ever did need anything. And that's something, it's great on one end but not on the other side, because if you're a customer that wants to buy this certain thing and they want to get a completed story with it, then Bungie needs to actually complete a story. So that's one problem that they really had there, is that Season of the Worthy was really great with telling a good story that brought us more backstory for a character that's been in the game since the beginning of Bungie's existence. I really feel like that was really great. They just didn't bring it to the table with content for the game, where they lacked in actual, other game modes, because they brought us a new public event that just wasn't really that fun. You just killed a lot of enemies and threw orange balls at a thing, and then killed harder enemies at the end of it when you filled up your orange balls enough. But either or, they didn't really bring it, I feel like, either with Season of the Arrival, which is the season that we're in currently, because they just gave us the same kind of thing, a public event where we kill a bunch of enemies and we get actually some backstory, and the actual cinematics or the cut screens that were actually shown got me a lot more than what was actually shown there, or the missions that were going, which I don't think is a good thing for a live service game. I think there needs to be a healthy balance in between being able to tell a good story and completing it, and having a good grind mechanic where it's just good for people to grind through and like that there. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I want to talk a little bit about these next DLCs that are actually coming, because they do seem pretty exciting if you're a fan of Destiny, because the next one that we're going to be getting here in September, it will actually be called Beyond Light, where it actually seems like the darkness is coming in and we're going to be put up against a new form of enemy, where we get a new kind of actual power to use, that stasis that actually gives us an ice class to play with, where this is going to be the new element they've ever brought into the game and let us actually play with, because they brought in blight and stuff like that in the Taken King back in Destiny 1, and this actually, we got a gun with the Season of the Arrival that actually allows us to use blight energy, and I don't know of any other guns in Destiny. You can leave the comments down below if I'm missing it, but this would be the first gun, at least from my experience, that actually allows us to shoot blight energy at a enemy there. So we're getting a new subclass that will allow us to have new powers that we've never had before. So that's actually super exciting when it comes to a live service game, because if you look at other games like ESO, a lot of the big excitement for their last expansion Elsewhere was because they were bringing in the Necromancer subclass, which is actually the class that I love playing as on ESO. It's one of my favorites as far as that goes. And now with this live service model that they've set up with Destiny, they have to keep filling in that content gap there, and I feel like this next one is going to fill in a lot of content gap, not only for cutscenes, but actually give us good game mechanics and grinding, because it feels like they're actually thinking about what they want the future of the game to be, because we also got the next 2 expansions to go for 2021 and 2022, so we got this year, next year, and the year after that. That's 3 years of expansions that are supposed to be telling a full-fledged out, story between all of them there. So that does seem like it is a step in the right direction. I feel that Bungie is doing good things, because another thing that people have actually been kind of butthurt about was that they're vaulting some things or some activities, and they mentioned this in the live stream, that the reason they're doing this is because they have a game on the PS4 that is over 150 gigabytes of data. That's over 1/5 of your storage space if you have a 500 gigabyte console. So they want to remove some of that, so not only from a developer aspect, it looks easier and better for them to implement newer content that might bring people to the game and allow them to play it a lot better, and not only that, shorten and optimize the game so that way it runs a lot better. Even though Destiny 2 is probably one of the most optimized and best looking games I've ever played when it does come to first person shooting mechanics on a live service style game. So, I don't want to keep rambling on about this here. I probably could all day. I could tell you all the different lores and everything that they're adding with it here, but I think it would really be better if you went and saw the live stream itself. So I'll be leaving a link down in the comments below for you guys to go check that out if you're interested in that. Well, that's the video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy me rambling on a bit about Destiny 2 and what I think about the new season and how I think it's actually going to be pushed into the right direction. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button to let me know that you did, and why not subscribe while you're at it with that bell icon turned on so you don't miss out on any more content like this. And heck, if you want to go a step further, why not check out those links in the description for all that sweet social media stuff, and check me out over on Instagram and Twitter. And if you're following me already on there, you're a super awesome person and I love you. And as always, I have been Tasty, this has been Random Gaming News, and have a wonderful fucking gaming night.